Welcome to the Market Like a Coach podcast. I'm Angela Nauman, a master writing teacher and marketing coach. Here we dive into stories and strategies to refine your messaging, make your program shine, and turn your audience into raving fans. Ready to elevate your coaching game and build a thriving business with heart? Let's get started, my friend. It's time to market like a coach. Hey, my friends. Welcome back. It is day 4 of the How to Re-Engage Your Audience That's Gone Cold series. And I am excited about today because today it's one of those that kind of is one of the where you're like, okay, let's get real for a second and let's talk about the real thing. And go ahead and pull your big girl panties up. You're going to need it. Okay. Are you ready? Take a deep breath. And I'm going to tell you the truth. Okay, this one's kind of hard for me to say because I'm a content person. I am your content marketing coach. And so it is hard for me to say this one, but it is the truth of the matter. Sometimes the reason our audience has become cold to us is because we do nothing but rely on content to do all the work for us. And this is really hard for me to say because I'm a big believer in that our content can do the heavy lifting. But the truth is, my friends, is that content is a part of the strategy, not all of the strategy. We cannot let content is not going to have the conversation. It can start the conversation. It can carry the conversation forward that's already happened, but it's like dating, right? So the content does not replace deep conversation. Does that make sense? So like if we're dating, if you're dating someone, you go on dates. Why? So you can get to know them. That's what content is. It's the dating part. It's going out of the house and dating. But there's times where you actually are sitting somewhere and you're on the phone back in the day, right? And you're having deep conversations. Content doesn't replace that. And so sometimes what happens is we stop having strategy outside of our content. So let's talk about this a bit more. Back when I first became a coach, I was all in on social media. I even came into a time where I was doing like a daily live video. I was really working to develop my live video skills. I was really working to get outside of my comfort zone. And then someone who I thought was a friend made fun of me so bad. And they did it in front of other people. It was a coworker who I honestly thought was a really good friend, made fun of me to my face in front of other people for always being online, doing live videos, posting selfies. And I can be a real strong person. Like you mess with my kids, I'm willing to go to jail. Like I am. But I'm a very non-confrontational kind of person. I don't see a reason to go through life hurting other people. So I just excused myself from the room and I went and cried. And then I pulled my big girl panties up and went on with my day, I thought. But what happened is that night, I didn't go live. That night, the next night, I didn't go live. And a week or so goes by, maybe even longer. I don't even know. And I found myself on a phone call, a Zoom call with my friend Mindy, my biz bestie Mindy. And Mindy was like, "What's going on with you? You've disappeared from social media." And I told her, I said, "Well, I got made fun of. And I just didn't know if I had it in me. You know, it's hard to show up. And I got made fun of. So I had stopped showing up. I had stopped building the relationships and having the conversations I'd already started in the DMs. And I just I didn't hold the event I had planned. I went into flight. I went into flight mode, right? You know, fight, flight, or freeze. Fight, flight, or freeze. And I went into flight. I was hiding. And I found myself at this time thinking, okay, this getting client stuff is hard. This showing up on social media stuff is hard. I'm going to do it different. And what I thought was, instead of doing one-to-one coaching and building this deep relationship with people, I'll just sell an online course. And then I'll just hold webinars, run ads, and I won't have to be online. I won't have to meet people and offer to help them. Right? I thought I would just keep myself safe. So here comes, and I will say, after I talked with Mindy, I went back to being online. But I also then thought, I'll just have an online course. We'll make this nice and easy. And I may be getting some of my timeline mixed up with this, so you have to forgive me. This is the perimenopause brain part of me. But what ended up happening is I ran ads, I built a course, ran ads, ran webinars to it, sold the course, those kinds of things. But that's when I went and ran those ads, and I've shared this story before, I'm pretty sure, and no one came. And I was like, this isn't working either. Because the truth is friends, is you can have 100 people signed up for your workshop that you ran ads to, but they're a cold audience, and cold audiences don't buy high ticket coaching. Cold audiences don't even might or might not buy a $2,000 course. Let's be real honest. So what happens, that's what happened to me. And I had to come back around, which I'm sure that's in another episode because I feel like I talk about that story all the time. But I came back around and I went back into let me just hold an event. Let me just get back in my Facebook group. And within 4 weeks, I'm signing a high ticket client. And what happened was I reengaged my audience. And so what happened, and we're going to talk about how, but when we get to this place where we don't have a strategy, we just want to rely on content, or we want to hide behind our computer and we don't want to actually engage with people, that's when this happens. Maybe we just want we just want to post those one-hit wonder posts, right? Just an engagement post. And we're going to call that good. Right? It gives you some quick engagement, but it dies off quickly. It doesn't actually create a deeper connection. And then what happens, the impact of things like that, or not even posting, or not creating conversation, right? Because the goal of a social media post is to create, in my mind, and when I teach my clients, it's to bring them closer to us in that client journey, right? So imagine a spiral, and the center part of the spiral being the client, they become a client. Well, in the outer parts, the goal is to bring them closer to you and more through that journey and closer to you. So each post should bring your prospective client closer to you. Each action you take should bring them closer to you. So the thing is it's not just a post, it's what actions come with it. Does that post start a conversation in the comment section of that post? That brings them closer to you. Does that post does it get them signed up for a workshop or a live video or an event of some sort? Right? It brings them closer to you. Does that event then bring them into a conversation with you by booking a call or into the DMs where you can actually have a conversation? Brings them closer to you. But friends, and what I'm telling you is all this is it doesn't happen by accident. We have to create that. We have to know where we want to take them. This goes back into that client journey. And then we have to use our content and our actions to bring that about, to be that guide, right? Donna Mull talks about being the guide. You are their Yoda. You get to be that. And so we do that through that client journey. We are the guide. And the guide is not just what we post, it is the actions we take, the conversations we have, the relationship building we take time to do. So what do we do? Right? Because obviously the impact here is if you're not building the relationship, they stay cold. There's no reason for them to trust you. There's no reason for them to come into your program. There's no trust built. There's no relationship built. Why would they go with you? Why would they come spend 5, 10K to join your program or more when they don't even know if they like you. So so what do you do? What do you do? Well, it's simple, friends. You have to have not just a client journey of content that works that client journey for strangers to friend to prospect to client, which we've talked about in one of the previous tips here for the re-engaging your audience tips and other previous podcast episodes. But we also have to create what I think of as like, what is the client journey action plan? What actions do you take with strangers? What actions do you take to move them from stranger to friend and friend to prospect and prospect to client? That could be hosting events. It could be sharing a resource. That could be getting them into your Facebook group. That could be moving emails where they click a link and get to do whatever, like take a quiz. I don't know, right? We bring them closer to you, but what actions do they need to take? What actions do you need to take to make that happen, to guide that into, to facilitate that into being, right? Build that simple, easy, don't make it hard, because the more complex you make it, the less like you are to do it, right? And we don't want that. So build a simple client journey action plan to go with your client journey content plan, right? That goes with and supports what your content's doing and what you want them to be doing. So think about where you are in your relationship to your leads. How do they want to be interacted with? What do you want them to feel? What do you want them to talk about? What do they need you to talk about? I guess would be even a better question, right? What actions do they need from you to feel supported and to feel like you see them, like you know them, like you understand them? So you dive into that. If you want your upcoming promotions to hit home, friend, you have to re-engage your audience. And sometimes it's not just more content. Sometimes that means actions might have to be redefined or taken purposefully. I'm going to spit it out. All right, my friends, go make a plan. Not just what content you want to make, but what actions you need to take along with that in that stage of their client journey that are going to bring them closer to you. All right, my friend, that's what I have. You're a coach. Go market like one. I'll see you tomorrow's episode. Hey, my friends. Thanks for tuning in to the Market Like a Coach podcast. I hope you found today's episode valuable and inspiring. Remember, it's all about refining your message and elevating your content game so that you can thrive as a coach. If you enjoyed this episode, be sure to subscribe, leave a review, and share it with your fellow coaches. For more tips and strategies and resources, visit me at angelanauman.com.